Hello, I'm Claire Smith and welcome to my channel. So today I've got some blind buys for you. So some of these I've spotted on other people's channels and I've been intrigued and I've just ended up buying. And then one of these I just wanted a summer version of a scent that I already have. So I'm just going to talk my way through them and tell you what I think. So I've been trying these out over the past week, 2 weeks. So I think I've got a pretty good judgment on how I feel about them now. So I've bought all of these fragrances secondhand, or pre-loved as people like to call it, because they don't like to talk about secondhand. But if they look a bit used, then that's why. So the first one, and I think it's probably my favourite of the fragrances that I've purchased, is Gucci Guilty Absolute pour Femme. So this fragrance, I've seen fragrantician Gabby talk about this one and it just made me really intrigued. And as soon as I saw this, I thought, right, I'm going to try it. So this has a really strong blackberry opening, and I think the other notes in this that are really prominent are the cypress and also the Bulgarian rose. I think Gucci patented some kind of extract from cypress, which is called Goldenwood. Don't really know too much about that, but they seem to be making a song and dance about that one. They also seem to be making a song and dance about the fact that they think this fragrance is the same throughout from the opening to the dry down. I don't particularly agree with that. I do think it changes as it dries, but it's more just the fruity note calms down a bit, and then the rose becomes a little bit more prominent in the dry down, along with the woody notes. But that would be expected. I don't see how a fragrance can really be the same throughout if it contains a fruity note. It's not likely, is it? So I find this fragrance really quite unisex. I really don't think that it screams feminine at all. I mean, obviously it's marketed towards women, but I think that a man could definitely pull this off. And to be honest, wear what you like because it's fragrance, does it matter? But yeah, I do think that it would smell great on a man. I think this fragrance is really quite versatile as well. I think you could wear it all year round. It's not so wintry that it's going to exclude summer, but I do think it's kind of autumn, winter, obviously because of I think those associations with blackberry. But the rose really does lift this and does make it sort of more summery. So I think, yeah, if you want a fragrance that you can wear most of the year, definitely try this one. So yeah, I really like this one. The only things that I'm kind of a little bit critical of are the lasting power of this fragrance. I have had to respray after about, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours, I would think. I have been spraying for like 5 or 6 sprays and that's as long as it lasts. I also do think that this becomes a skin scent quite quickly, but it's definitely one that I would like to snuggle with someone on a sofa with for sure. So yeah, if you haven't tried it, go and smell it. Gucci Guilty Absolute pour Femme. It's a really nice one, and I really don't think it fits in with the rest of the Gucci Guilty range at all. So if you've been trying the rest of the Gucci Guilty range and not wanted to go any further, then please do try this one if you haven't done already, because I think it's pretty different. So yeah, I like this one. So the second fragrance is one that I've seen Chantal Tiffany talk about, and you know what? Chantal Tiffany can sell me pretty much anything, and that is CKin2U Her by Calvin Klein. So Calvin Klein, they're kind of, you know, forever associated with unisex fragrances in the 90s for me. That kind of oceanic, fresh fragrance that they vibed as, and I imagine Kate Moss in a poster with, you know, not very much on, etc. But this one, yeah, it's marketed towards women, but I just think that again, this could be unisex for me. It's not particularly feminine. So I bought this one because Chantal was saying that she thought this fragrance was a really good pick for the summer, and I think I also saw Sweet Scent say that this was a good summer pick. And I realised that my collection is quite winter leaning, I think, because I like that kind of deeper, more intense kind of fragrance. So I thought I'd pick this up. It really wasn't expensive actually. This is a 100ml bottle. I think even retail you can get a 150ml bottle for £20. They're really very inexpensive. I think there's also a male version of this fragrance. Obviously I haven't tried that. But yeah, this one, it's not even packaged in a feminine kind of bottle, is it? It's very minimal, very Calvin Klein. I think they could have marketed this fragrance as unisex and no one would have blinked. It's really, you know, everything about this fragrance says unisex to me. So yeah, the opening to this is mainly grapefruit and very citrusy. I really love the opening actually. Really citrusy, really fresh, really it's really like something you would want to wear on a sunny summer's day. It does feel quite refreshing in the opening. The dry down, however, is a little bit like it's very warm, and I don't know whether I like this fragrance in the later stages for a summer's day, because it does get very warm with the amber and the vanilla, and it's kind of a little bit like pine needles. I assume that's a cedar in this. It's like a warm, spicy, woody vanilla in the dry down with still a little bit of that citrus, but the citrus freshness really has gone by the dry down. So I think this projects quite well actually for most of the life of it, and also I think lasting power, it's maybe a couple of hours to 4 or 5 hours, somewhere in between there. I think you can afford to be very generous with this fragrance really, can't you? Because it's so cheap, there's no issue. A good summer fragrance. I'm looking forward to wearing this one. It's definitely something that I don't really have anything like in my collection, so I'm pleased to have picked this one up. So that's CKin2U by Calvin Klein. So the final fragrance in this haul is actually one from a line that I already own one from. So I already own La Petite Robe Noire Black Perfecto, but that's kind of got a leathery note in it, and it does feel wintry to me. So I wanted like a lighter, really super girly fragrance for summer. And I went for, in the end, the Plissée variant. So there are so many different flanker fragrances from the La Petite Robe Noire line. I really do think they've gone ham with all of their flanker fragrances. It was kind of starting to make my head spin trying to choose between them. I was torn between this one and the Eau Fraiche, which is the green looking liquid, but I went for this one in the end because I just really wanted that core La Petite Robe Noire DNA. And this has it apart from the licorice, which, you know, to be honest, I'm quite a licorice fan, but I don't really see it as a summer kind of scent. So I didn't really mind that. So this one has the cherry, the almond, the rose. It also has black tea, and the black tea really comes through in this fragrance. It makes it a really refreshing fragrance. For an EDT, this fragrance really has lasted very well on me. I've definitely got, you know, most of a day out of this fragrance for sure. I think it actually does project really well as well. I can see why this line sells well. And the black tea just takes the sugar level down a notch or two. It just stops it from being super sweet. And I think that combined with the patchouli and the musk really make this a really nice, almost refreshing scent. I think that it's a really kind of romantic scent. I think of it sort of like a slightly sweeter version of Miss Dior. If you've probably smelled most of the other flankers of La Petite Robe Noire, this is not going to be groundbreaking, but I just really wanted a summer scent, so I went for this one. So this is La Petite Robe Noire Plissée. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like the video, please press the like button and please consider subscribing. I've got a few other blind buys to show you after my no buy. I have gone a little bit overboard since finishing the no buy of 2 months, so I'm clearly making up for not buying anything in February and March. But I'll see you in the next one. Bye!